Ryan's World parents finally learnt their lesson the hard way. So it's been over a year, and the new update about Ryan's World parents is very insane. Like literally, they are about to shit themselves because, trust me, something so insane has happened and it's not going to get very well for his parents. Before getting into what's happened now, it's important to understand the little context behind it, because at first, it didn't begin as a business plan or a calculated empire. It began as something extremely ordinary. In 2015, Ryan was just another child watching YouTube. He followed channels like EvanTube HD and, like many kids, simply wanted to do the same. There was no strategy behind it, just curiosity. His parents picked up a camera, filmed a few toy videos, and uploaded them. For a while, nothing unusual happened. Then one video changed everything. A simple toy unboxing, bright colors, genuine excitement, and a format that perfectly matched what the platform rewarded suddenly exploded to over 1 billion views. That moment didn't just make the channel popular, transformed the entire direction of the family's life. What had been casual content instantly became an opportunity, and this is where the shift began. Instead of remaining a small, occasional activity, channel evolved into a structured operation. Ryan's parents established Sunlight Entertainment, expanded production, hired staff, and began treating content creation as a full-time system rather than a hobby. Upload frequency increased, formats diversified, and the channel expanded into multiple branches, all designed to maintain growth in an algorithm-driven environment. At that point, Ryan's World stopped being just a child's YouTube channel. It became infrastructure. What's important to understand is how quickly the line between childhood and content started to disappear. Everyday moments, playing, shopping, even routine activities were no longer private experiences. They became material, became more dependent on consistency. But before all this growth back in 2002, his mother, Loan Kaji, was arrested for shoplifting clothes worth of $93 from a JCPenney in Houston. She was fined $150, 40 hours community service, and 6 months of probation. The fact that she was stealing expensive clothes, which was something luxury more than necessity. Later on, things get more interested when she got arrested again and sentenced 30 days jail for breaching her probation and not to report a supervisor or pay any supervising fees for going live on YouTube. The family replaced their real-life surname with on-screen surname Kaji. This explains there seems an amount of greed behind these consistent uploads, not just enjoyment. This isn't unique to Ryan's World, but it's one of the clearest examples of how the platform incentivizes turning real life into continuous output. Another layer that made this situation more complex was the audience. Unlike traditional entertainment, the viewers here were primarily very young children. This created a dynamic where product placement, brand deals, and entertainment blended into one seamless experience. To an adult, it might look like marketing. To a child, it looked like trust. The worst thing is yet to come when they started mixing of sponsored content into organic content. As the main audience of Ryan were preschooler, and they were not able to distinguish between commercial and organic. The expert believes that the videos do not stimulate imagination or creativity, but channel it into a preordained story that creates brand awareness and brand loyalty, and that almost 90% of Ryan Toys review videos include at least one paid product. Recommendation for preschoolers: these advertisements often feature unhealthy foods. Kids watching these videos learn that what makes people happy is getting stuff the delight and joy in the unveiling, unwrapping and unboxing it, saying, "Oh, look what I have," but is very ephemeral, fleeing moment, because you are then on to the next thing, and the next thing, and next this create a dopamine surge of excitement, leads to addiction. They allow children not to have deferred gratification. They are instantly gratified, or they are gratified in short period of time. It's just like old-fashioned marshmallow test to see how well kids are able to keep from eating marshmallow. What they do is shoot marshmallow at you at a rapid rate. You don't have to wait. You don't have to defer. You just consume what you see. Ultimately is an attenuation of surprises and pleasure before continuing. At starting, he was not forced to make toy review videos because kids of 3 or 4 years age can't able to hide their emotions. But now he is 14 and still making these types of videos is kinda sick because he absolutely doesn't seem very happy about it. And imagine how much will it feel insulting if someone in his high school called it out. Like, how will he even able to go to school and even make friends? But now government has finally stepped in. Toys, sponsorships, millions of dollars, all built around a child. The system around it started cracking. Let's start with what's happening right now. New laws are being proposed that would force parents of child influencers to set aside money for their kids in legal trusts and give kids the right to delete their own videos when they turn adults. Think about that. Delete their childhood from the internet. Because right now, there are barely any rules protecting kids in content, meaning a child can generate millions, and legally, that money might not even belong to them. And here's the part no one says out loud. Channels like Ryan Ryan's World are the reason this conversation even exists. Now, experts are asking a much bigger question, not what happened, but should this have ever been allowed? Because Ryan wasn't just playing, he was part of a system where kids promote products to other kids, and the scary part is, most young viewers can't even tell what's an ad and what's just play. That's why the kidfluencer industry is now being criticized for turning childhood into business, putting pressure on kids too early, blurring reality with marketing. So this isn't just about one family anymore, it's about an entire system that they helped normalize. Now here's where things gets uncomfortable. Ryan isn't that little kid anymore, he's a teenager now, but his audience, still kids. And that creates a strange gap, because what once felt natural now feels produced, more structured, more controlled, more like a business than a family. And that's because it is. Ryan's World isn't just a channel anymore, it's a full-scale brand with teams, production, and constant content output. At this point, you're not watching a kid grow up, you're watching a system run. Then came their biggest move, taking Ryan's World beyond YouTube into movies. Ryan's World, the movie, Titan Universe, Adventure. It looked like the next big step, but the result? A massive flop, around $10 million budget, and only about $600,000 earned. That's not just bad, that's a signal, because it shows something important. The same formula that worked on YouTube doesn't work everywhere, which means the empire isn't as untouchable as it once seemed. Now zoom out for a second, because this is where everything connects. This isn't about one controversy or one bad decision. It's about a global shift happening right now. Lawmakers are stepping in, experts are raising concerns, audiences are becoming more aware, because millions of kids have grown up online with their entire lives, recorded, monetized, and watched by strangers, and only now people are starting to ask, was this okay? So when people said year ago, something feels off about Ryan's World parents, maybe they weren't just hating, maybe they were seeing something early, something everyone else ignored.